Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The Presidency says Deputy President David Mabuza has been asked to remain in office to ensure a smooth transition. Mabuza confirmed his resignation at his brother's funeral in Mpumalanga yesterday. He says he had communicated his intention to resign to President Cyril Ramaphosa in time. Mabuza has been Deputy President since Ramaphosa became President in 2018. For more on this, I'm joined by Rebone Tau, who's a political analyst. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. What's your take on the build-up that's led to the announcement of the Deputy President speaking about his resignation? Because essentially a lot has happened in between, including the Deputy President having to miss the Cabinet Lekgotla. What is your take on all of this?
Good afternoon to the viewers at home. I mean, if you look at the Deputy President of the Republic has actually been not active in ANC activities. For an example, we know that they only concluded their conference, on the 5th of January. He was not even there, he went to Eswatini. And that shows that he is no longer really active within the party. I don't even recall seeing him at the ANC Lekgotla. But obviously then news came out that he has lost his brother, but he was not at the ANC Lekgotla, he was not at the government Lekgotla, he was not even at the last day of conference, which was on the 5th of January. So it's clear that he feels, I think, maybe betrayed because of the role that he played in 2017, to make sure that he gives the numbers that President Ramaphosa required. And throughout the negotiations, his name was never mentioned by the so-called Cyril Ramaphosa faction.
You make mention of Mabuza bringing in the highest numbers in terms of delegates in 2017. I suppose this resignation and the conversation he's said to have had with President Cyril Ramaphosa about his intentions to resign well in advance relieve Ramaphosa, who may have been caught between a rock and a hard place when it comes to owing some sort of loyalty to Mabuza, but also the implications which would have come with not allowing Paul Mashatile what he wants. I would imagine that there would be a tough year ahead for President Ramaphosa had that not happened.
The biggest, challenge that President Ramaphosa finds himself is that in 2017, he ended up being with the Deputy President that he had not anticipated, because if you remember on the slate, he had Lindiwe Sisulu, but before that he had even pronounced Naledi Pandor at some rally in Limpopo building up to 2017 conference. Now at this conference, we saw that initially they wanted Senzo Mchunu to be his deputy, but due to Senzo Mchunu not reaching threshold, they had to then compromise on the name of Oscar Mabuyane on the slate for Deputy President, and Lamola, still being part of that faction, decided not to withdraw in favor of Oscar. So President Ramaphosa finds himself in a difficult position that in 2017, and again at this conference, he comes back from conference with a Deputy President that he had not wished to have on his side. And the other thing is that while he did what he did yesterday as the Deputy President, announces the resignation, he has actually now put President Ramaphosa to a corner to say that, can you just, release me from my duties? I want to go. And that means that he's tired, of being there. He no longer wants to be there, and that's why he had to make that announcement yesterday. So now President Ramaphosa now will be forced to really release him from his duties as soon as possible. Although they playing the delayed tactics about the transition, which I'm still trying to understand what kind of a transition is this that the presidency is talking about.
Yeah, and that would have been my next question to you on what you imagine the smooth transition will be about. I suppose it really speaks to a handover of duties and responsibilities. Well,
we know that the Deputy President, of the Republic, is the leader of business and so forth, But the thing is that, for an example, the Deputy President, for example, I had not seen at the Lekgotla, he was not at the government Lekgotla. After the SONA, there will be also a debate, and the question that will he take part in that debate when he was not part of the discussions, because the SONA is based on the discussions of Lekgotla, So those are some of the things that one wonders, what is this transition about? I mean, you can recall in 2018 when the then President Jacob Zuma also once requested for the transition, to say that give me time to be in office and then hand over, and that was not done. So I'm still trying to understand what is this handover that the Deputy President must do at this present moment.
With the Lekgotla forming a huge part of the State of the Nation address, which is set to take place on Thursday, what would you say are some of your expectations when it comes to the delivery of that address?
I mean, the issue of electricity should be high on the agenda, and there should be proper time frames, because we can't live like this as a nation where we talk about rebuilding the economy of this country, having a recovery plan, around the economy, but we don't have electricity 18 hours, in a day, because it's really bad. You go to stage 6 and so forth, So he should actually be given proper, time frames, because, and which this is going to actually have a huge impact for the ANC going to the national elections. So he needs to really account on the issue of energy in this country, because that will collapse the ANC, or it's got a potential of saving the ANC in 2024.
How much damage do you think the Phala cloud, so to speak, hanging over the president's head will have going into elections? Because we already know the EFF has announced that they are planning to prevent President Ramaphosa from delivering the State of the Nation address on Thursday.
Really speaking, when you speak to a majority of South Africans, they don't really consume themselves about Phala. Their focus about unemployment issues. So I don't see it having much of an impact in terms of society. But yes, parties like the EFF will play politics, to try and reduce SONA, to Phala, and bring back the days of the then President Jacob Zuma around when he was dealing with the issue of Nkandla. But the sad reality is that when you speak to ordinary South Africans, they're not really preoccupied about Phala, because they tell you that that is not like money that was stolen from the state.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time. Let's leave it there for now. Rebone Tau, political analyst, giving us a sense of some of the expectations ahead of the upcoming State of the Nation address, as well as the dynamics with the presidency, saying Ramaphosa has asked Deputy President David Mabuza to stay on until some finalities are drawn with his role as the Deputy President.